Hey athletes, today we're talking about pain-free movement. I hear this a lot. Josh, I can't squat, it hurts my knees, okay, or it hurts my back. So, here are just some things to think about. Now, do you have to squat? No, okay? Squatting is just, bending at the knees, at the ankles, at the hips, bilaterally, both legs are doing it. Squatting is a more natural pattern. Why? Because if you wanted to take a poop in the woods, how would you do it? You'd probably do some type of a squat to get down there so you could, have a bowel movement. So that's why I like squats, is because in my opinion, it is a more natural type motion. But if you've had irreparable damage to your knee, or let's say you broke a leg and it's a little longer than the other, or whatever, you were born with your knees were a little tweaked, or your hip or whatever, where going through a good squat pattern where you're actively using your legs, you're purposefully bending at the ankles, your knees and hips, and you're straight up and down and your core is engaged, and all of the good things that have to happen in a squat are happening, but you still are experiencing knee pain, absolutely you probably shouldn't squat, okay? If you're doing it perfect or really close or just good and it hurts, you probably don't want to squat again. Now, if the reason it hurts your knees is because you're doing it wrong, we need to figure out how we can get it closer to the actual squat we're looking for. So maybe at first it's not a great habit to start with, but for a lot of people that are overweight, just doing the squat, because let's say you have an extra 80 pounds on your frame or even 50 pounds, just your sheer body weight is just overloading and it's too heavy for your body to go through the full range of motion in a squat. If you've ever been to the gym, you can tell right away when you watch people do, let's say, a squat with the bar on their back, you can tell right away if the bar is way too heavy for their body to handle. Why? Because their squat looks like this. Yeah, I just did 450, man, for 3. Yeah, dude, you bent your knees and you sit back up, okay? So remember, our squat, we want our hip to go below our knee just a little bit. You don't have to squat until your ass necessarily touches your heels, because not everybody can do that, okay? But we want your hip lower than your knee for it to be a full squat. So if you're overweight, if you have an extra 80 pounds on you, some people can't do an 80-pound squat with their body weight. So again, think of yourself as you have this weighted vest on, and now you're trying to go through, first of all, a range of motion that's weird, right? You're not very comfortable with it. You've only done it a couple of times. Yeah, your body's going to freak out. You're going to be in weird positions, and you could potentially have knee pain, okay? Now, if there's nothing actually structurally wrong with your knee, none of the tendons are messed up, there's no shearing force, whatever, and just your being overweight hasn't caused irreparable damage, again, you should be able to squat. It's going to take some practice. But here's a tip. Maybe sit down to a chair and stand back up, okay? You have something to catch you so that you don't have to use your core until it learns how to do it. Your muscles can learn how to stretch and contract as they need to. You can practice bending at the ankles and sitting straight down to a chair. The chair is right there. Get an office chair, because you can raise it up and lower it down as you get more comfortable, and start there, okay? Because we first of all need to develop more leg strength so that you can hold that extra weight that you have, but that also gives you the squatting pattern, or at least we're starting the squatting pattern, while you can lose some of that weight, okay? As your weight comes down, your leg strength comes up, eventually you're going to be able to squat appropriately, okay? And it's going to be pain-free. So again, if you have irreparable damage, if there's something structurally wrong, you might not be able to squat, okay? But using the sit and stand technique, if you don't have that kind of damage while you're trying to lose weight, is one way. Now, another way, instead of, let's say, sitting to an office chair and standing up or whatever, let's say you're going to a gym, there are so many machines there that you can load so that you can, again, develop leg strength while you're trying to lose weight. But remember, machines aren't teaching your body how to balance, how to stabilize, how to hold the knee from shearing so that the ankle can flex and your hip can move and your glutes can stretch and your butt and blah, 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 blah. Okay, lots of things have to happen for you to actually do a squat, a body weight squat. So again, the machines are only going to be helping some of those larger muscles, not all of those little stabilizers. So you still need to be sure that you're practicing that balance. Again, if you're in pain, you have to understand, why am I in pain? Why does my shoulder hurt? Is it because you just came from shoulder surgery, or they restructured your shoulder, or you were born with, scapular winging, or what? Okay, fine. Maybe you can't do a push-up, but maybe we can do some other type of a chest exercise, okay? Maybe you're overweight. We need to build into doing a push-up, okay? Just because your program says you need to do a squat, you need to do a push-up, doesn't mean you have to do that exact exercise right now. But it is a good goal for you. Let's say it says you need to do a squat, but you have to start way down here with glute bridges or something, or whatever. And maybe it takes you a few months to finally be able to squat. Then you can actually address the program, okay? Just because some bodybuilder that's huge and you want to be just like that person, just because he or she is huge or ripped or whatever, doesn't mean that their program that they might not have even written is going to work for you, okay? So again, we want to build our movement patterns through pain-free movements. And yeah, there are some movements that, in my opinion, are better than others, that are going to help benefit you more than others. And again, if they cause pain now, don't just eliminate it forever. Try to build into doing those exercises, okay? Because then it's just a cop-out if you're like, I could never do squats. Well, then you know what? You're probably right.